Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we redoing something really fun. A deep dive into the new horror film, Locked, and how director David Yarovesky managed to create absolute terror in one of the most confined spaces possible. A single car. Now, horror movies have trapped us in haunted houses, old asylums, dark woods, even spaceships drifting through the galaxy. But how do you make an ordinary car, something we sit in every day, feel like the scariest place on Earth? That's what we're exploring today. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why Locked stands out in modern horror cinema. And why Yarovesky's approach to fear is one of the most creative of the decade. Before we talk about Locked, let's talk about the man behind it. David Yarovesky isn't new to horror. In fact, he's been carving out a reputation as a director who knows how to take simple ideas and twist them into terrifying, unforgettable experiences. He first gained attention with The Hive 2014, a small but ambitious horror film that mixed body horror with psychological dread. But most horror fans probably know him from Brightburn 2019. The film that asked, what if Superman landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero, he became a monster? That movie shocked audiences with its brutal kills and subversive take on superhero mythology. He also directed Nightbooks 2021 for Netflix, a dark fairy tale for younger audiences that blended fantasy with scares in a way that felt like Goosebumps on steroids. So, when Yarovesky announced Locked, fans were excited because they knew he had the talent to take something simple and push it to horrifying extremes. At its core, Locked is incredibly simple. A character or characters become trapped inside a car. The doors won't open, the windows won't break, and something sinister lurks just beyond reach. That's it. No sprawling cast, no haunted mansion, no endless CGI effects, just a car. But that simplicity is exactly what makes Locked so terrifying, because we all know what it feels like to be in a car. We've sat in one, we've locked the doors, we've felt that strange mix of safety and vulnerability. On one hand, a car feels like a protective shell. On the other, it's just thin metal and glass separating you from the world outside. By building an entire film around this contradiction, Yarovesky takes something familiar and turns it into a prison of fear. Why a car is the perfect horror setting? Think about it. A car is small, confined. Once you're inside, there's not much room to move. That instantly creates claustrophobia, which is one of horror's most primal tools. When audiences feel trapped, their anxiety skyrockets. A car is fragile. Glass windows can shatter. Doors can be broken into. Engines can die. Unlike a house, which feels solid and sturdy, a car is vulnerable. And most importantly, a car is isolating. You're cut off from the world around you, even if you're parked on a busy street. Inside that shell of metal, you're alone. This setting allows Yarovesky to strip horror down to its bare essentials. No escape, no help, no way out. Sound design. Fear you can hear. One of the most powerful tools Yarovesky uses in Locked is sound design. When your entire movie takes place in one car, visuals are limited. You can't keep cutting to new rooms or new angles to show variety. Instead, you have to rely on what the audience hears. In Locked, the creaks of the car frame, the tick of the cooling engine, the faint footsteps outside, and the muffled scratching noises all become weapons of fear. Because when you're trapped, every sound is a potential threat. Sometimes the scariest moments are the quietest ones, when you hear a noise but can see what caused it. Yarovesky understands this, and he uses sound to manipulate the audience's imagination, making them believe something terrifying is just inches away. Lighting, darkness inside the car. Another huge challenge of filming inside a car is lighting. Cars are not designed for movie cameras. They're small, awkward, and easily overlit. But Yarovesky embraces this limitation and turns it into an advantage. The dashboard lights become eerie glows. The headlights cut through darkness like blades. A flickering street lamp outside can feel like a heartbeat. Sometimes the scariest shots are just the faint reflection of something moving in the rearview mirror. Was that real, or just a trick of the light? By carefully controlling the way light works inside the car, Yarovesky transforms ordinary moments like starting the ignition or adjusting the radio into moments of pure suspense. Performance-driven horror, unlike many horror films that rely on monsters, gore, or massive special effects, Locked puts its weight on the actors' performances. When you're stuck in a car, there's no room to hide. The camera lingers on faces. Every twitch, every nervous glance, every shaky breath becomes part of the storytelling. Yarovesky builds long takes where the audience is forced to sit with the character's fear. You can't cut away. You can't escape. Just like the character can't escape the car. This level of intimacy makes the horror feel personal. It's not about watching random people die. It's about feeling their panic in real time. Themes: trapped in fear. What makes Locked more than just a gimmick is the way it uses horror as a metaphor. Being trapped in a car isn't just a physical problem. It's symbolic. It reflects anxiety, the sense of being stuck in a situation with no control. Isolation. Even when surrounded by people, you can feel utterly alone. Technology as prison. The car, usually a tool of freedom, becomes a cage. By layering these themes into the narrative, Yarovesky makes Locked resonate with audiences on a deeper level. It's not just scary, it's meaningful. Fans of David Yarovesky's earlier films will recognize his signature style here. In Brightburn, he combined superhero tropes with horror to create something shocking. In Nightbooks, he turned fairy tales into something darker. And now, with Locked, he takes an everyday object and transforms it into a nightmare. His work is always about subversion, taking something familiar and making it terrifying. That's what makes him such an exciting voice in modern horror. So, why does Locked stand out in horror cinema? Because it proves that you don't need big budgets, massive sets, or endless jump scares to create fear. Sometimes all you need is a car, a character, and the imagination to turn limitation into terror. It's bold, it's intimate, and it shows that horror is at its most powerful when it makes us afraid of the ordinary. Conclusion: Locked isn't just another horror movie. It's a masterclass in how to use limitations as strengths, setting the entire film in a single car. David Yarovesky reminds us that horror doesn't need to be big. It needs to be clever, precise, and deeply human. So next time you sit in your car at night, doors locked, headlights off, remember, horror can find you anywhere, even in the driver's seat. And that's the deep dive into Locked and how David Yarovesky created horror in one car. Which element do you think is scariest? The sound design, the claustrophobic atmosphere, or the performances? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more horror breakdowns, and remember, sometimes the scariest place isn't a haunted house. Sometimes it's just the car you're sitting in right now.